Well, hello, everybody. We are here. This is highly motivated. I'm incredibly because I just ran into the door. That's why I'm excited because I just got here. So, in spirit of highly motivated, you are sitting today having a smoke sesh on a Wednesday, middle of the week, middle of our journey, middle of our adventure. I'm pretty jazzed because today I got to go to Goldflower. And if you know me, you know I love Goldflower. I love good flour. I love good quality product. So before I get too far, let me take a little gummy just to start the soiree of goodies. Okay. And tonight, no expectations. Our talk of talks tonight is really nothing. It's just us getting together. Tonight, that was a good gummy, made with pectin. Pectin breaks down into the system very easily. Anytime you're using a gel-based product or a gelatin, that's gonna, you're gonna swallow it in chunks. It's gonna get into your stomach. It's gonna sit there, and then it's gonna release that THC when it kind of feels like it, once it starts breaking down and finally starts getting into the bloodstream. Anyways, edibles are great way to start. That was a cherry rosin, full spectrum, and I could really taste the cannabis flavor on the back end of that gummy. So, moving on. Tonight, no expectations, no topics, just a smoke sesh. And I told you I'm really excited tonight because I got the opportunity to go to Goldflower. Goldflower, my closest location that I go to is in Ocala. So I go to Ocala. That's the closest I know. But that was the fact. I mean, I've been without Goldflower like all week. I actually almost maybe a week and a half now, going on 2 weeks. The only thing I had left was that beautiful joint, that blueberry, which was purple Thai and Afghani crossed together to make an incredible sativa or hybrid leaning. Beautiful flavor, beautiful effects, beautiful smell, beautiful taste. So anyways, today I was back in Ocala. I was hanging out, doing a pop-up educational early this morning. I was making some appearances. It's weird for me to even say that I make appearances. So I had the opportunity to stop by the Goldflower in Ocala. Now look what I picked up. Now this is what I rolled. I rolled this before the show, but that right there is my big hog leg. Big zoinka doinka, a doinka zoinka hog leg. It's a big fatty. Look how beautiful that is. Now this is gas chata. So gas chata is an ideal blend. This is their BZ, they're smalls, but even though it was small buds, they were tight, they were compact, beautiful aromatics the second I opened up the package. So this is gas chata, and it's sitting at 27.3% THC, and the terps are 2.22. I think that's pretty good. Anything over 1.5 on your terpene profile, you're going to get something a lot more flavorful. Definitely more tasty, definitely more aromatic. So the gas chata, very aromatic, very nice, and I'm very excited to try it out. The gas chata is a hybrid, if you're wondering. Hybrid leaning indica. The gas, it should be diesel-y. It should be a little cheesy almost. Maybe some beautiful fruits coming up, earthiness. I'm very excited about this one. After we smoke this, I have some other exciting things we're going to try out. I've got the orange bowl. Orange bowl, that's a Heisman 34. Very excited about that. And this one is JGT. I don't know what the abbreviation is. I forgot what it was. But that's another ideal blend from Goldflower. Very excited about it. And tonight's conversation that we're going to talk about, aliens. Aliens. Look, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I believe in facts. I believe in digging through information to find the truth. Now, recently, there have been multiple disclosure events with individuals and hearings in front of like recent congressional hearings. There have been recent congressional hearings about aliens and about disclosure. So tonight, if I can stay on topic, we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to try a mystery joint. After the gas chata, we're trying something, it's purple haze. And at the moment, undisclosed sources. I know where it came from. And if it's good, then I'm going to tell you where it came from. And if it's not good, then you're never going to know. Okay. I don't know what kind of rule that is. Okay. Before I talk too long, I'm going to go ahead and get the gas chata lit up. And, usually during the show, it could take me 15, 20 minutes just to get comfortable in the show, just to kind of realize what I'm talking about and be on the same page or be on the same vibe as everybody that's coming to the smoke sesh tonight. So welcome to the smoke sesh, Wednesday night, middle of the week, middle of the adventure, middle of the journey that we're all on together. I'll stop talking and go ahead and lighty lighties. Here we go. Ooh, right off the bat, I'm hit with some spice. Okay. So this is my hog leg, my doinka doinka, zoinka doink. Today we are smoking together because there are so many people who can't smoke. So many people who live in places where they can't smoke, where the cannabis is not legal, not even medically legal. So I light up this joint tonight and smoke this doinka doink for all the people who can't smoke, all the people who don't have medical cards or live in states where cannabis is not legal. I smoke this for you tonight. We smoke it together. I smoke this for all the people who don't even smoke cannabis, who are here watching the show as part of community, as part of the energy that we all come together. You don't have to use cannabis. You don't have to smoke it. You don't have to eat it. You don't have to use it topically. You don't have to drink tea, which is something we're definitely going to be getting into. Maybe not tonight. Friday night show, I think is all going to be about tea. But I smoke this joint for all of you who just don't. And tonight I'm smoking in a French white paper that I rolled it in. That's nice. That is smooth. One of my most important things when I smoke is that I smoke a smooth bud. If it's cured right and it's dried right, you shouldn't cough very much. If it's cured properly and dried properly, you're going to taste it really well. It's going to be more of an experience because you're enjoying it. It's not going to hurt your throat. Doesn't hurt your lungs. Doesn't feel heavy. That's really nice. I've been looking forward to this all day. Look, I couldn't wait. I was in Tampa early this morning. Then I rolled into Crystal River. And then from Crystal River, I rolled into Ocala. And when I got to Ocala, I was very lucky. I was there in time, made it to a gold flower and got some beautiful strains. Got 3 different types of flower, which I rolled up the gas chata right here. Oh, I know those were bad for me, but I love it. Love a Dr. Pepper. But all that sugar, it's ridiculous. Rolled up this gas chata, and I couldn't wait to smoke it. I was like that kid that's anticipating the candy in a jar, or the cookies in the jar, and I have to climb the refrigerator to get to it. That's what I felt like. I don't know what's going on inside this room. This room is so hot today. I feel like I'm just straight sweating. The heater must be on somewhere. Look, these sunglasses, the only reason I wear them is because it's so bright in here, but I also feel cooler with them on. But I start sweating. I'm like sweating from my nose, like right from up here. And it just drips all the way down into the beard. So I take the glasses off. I don't know what I'm rambling on about right now, and it doesn't really matter. What we're doing right now is just hanging out. I didn't want to put the pressure of a topic. I didn't want to put the pressure of I didn't want to put the pressure of a topic and say, hey, we've got to talk about something. We don't. We just need to get together like community, like friends, just for a quick smoky tokey, just for a little session as community. Right now I'm smoking the gas chata, and I have to tell you, I'm pretty excited about it. Ooh, before I get too far, Oraganji.com. If you see it here at the bottom, it's ORAGANJI.com. Check it out. You can scan the QR code up in the top, right over there, or you can go to the web address right over here. That's Oraganji.com. So you're going to notice we have join our mailing list or join our specials list. So if you put your email address into the website, you'll see it. When you pull up the page, you scroll down just a little bit, and you can win. If you're in Florida, you're signing up to win a free medical cannabis card. Like, we will pay for your medical cannabis card. We're going to be doing the drawings at least once a week. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, if you don't live in Florida or you don't want a medical cannabis card, then we will have a myriad of equivalent prizes to give you. So again, if you go to Oraganji.com, you join the mailing list, you sign up, you're in the running every month. You don't have to re-sign up. Every single month, we're going to be drawing new drawings. Every week, we're going to be drawing for the free medical card. So at the end of the month, we're going to be doing a big drawing every month for like a big glass rig or a bong or a device or some really cool things. And every week, we're going to be drawing for a free medical card or a medical card on Oraganji. So that's what we're doing. We're very excited. We're going to be rolling that out as we speak right now. So if you get that chance, go to the website, sign up, and definitely become part of it. Hey, welcome to the show. Howdy. Good to have you here. What did you miss? I'll let you know. I've been rambling on for 12 minutes. I've been talking about, so today I was able to go back to Goldflower because I haven't been close to a Goldflower in like a week and a half. So I was in Ocala today. I was in Tampa, then Ocala, and I was able to get, this is the Gas Chata. We see, I'm so excited to see you at the pre-roll ER event. So this is Gas Chata, super delicious, and that's what I'm smoking now, a doink of Gas Chata. Now, the pre-roll event, what is this? This is like soon, yes? So right now, smoking some Gas Chata, pretty excited about that. Also picked up a few other great blends at Goldflower today. Could not resist. I've been pretty pumped about that. Also, if we finish this and I'm still coherent, I'm going to try out this Purple Haze that I rolled. Pretty jazzed about the Purple Haze, see how that's going to turn out. And if it's good, then I'm going to tell you why it's so interesting of a joint. You know, it's so interesting of something we're gonna smoke. So I had to roll my own pre-rolls today, but this is my big hog leg, and this has been enjoyable. So smooth, so clean, and it's Gas Chata. Really enjoying that. So anyways, catching you up. Tonight, really, I haven't been talking about much. I just kind of talked about where I was today, what I was doing, my pure excitement of being able to stop at Goldflower today and pick up 3 fantastic strains, Orange Bowl, Gas Chata, and the JGT. That's the abbreviation. I don't know what it is right now. I don't know what JGT means. I mean, I saw it earlier. I think it was like Johnny something. There you go. but pretty jazzed about trying that one as well. So just chit chatting, just talking, and just kind of decompressing from the incredibly busy day that I had today. The topic du jour, the topic I want to talk about tonight is aliens. I want to talk about disclosure. I want to talk about the congressional hearings, the second congressional hearing now that we have had, talking about aliens. And nobody's reacting. Nobody's acting like they give a shit, like anything's actually going down. We are so desensitized as people. I think we're so desensitized, so resinous. Wow. I think we're so desensitized as a people that it's not even phasing us. It's not even affecting us. I think if a spaceship landed in our front yard, then we would be shocked. Then we'd be like, wow, wait a second. There are, you know, I don't know, would that even do it? Would that excitement right there even get us, you know, get us riled up? So, all right, so what I'm talking about really quickly, congressional hearings about aliens. So recently, there has been a second disclosure / congressional hearing. And the earlier testimony, so former Pentagon official David Grush alleged that the U.S. government recovered non-human biologics. I'm going to stop there for a moment. We've recovered non-human biologics. So what would that be? Obviously, alien. From crash sites, and has operated secret programs in reverse engineering alien technology. Now, this is from the disclosure event in front of Congress. And this was the former Pentagon official, David Grush. I'm probably butchering the name. How are we not reacting more? How are we not more surprised, excited at news that kind of, you know, that definitely signals at proving that there's life beyond our planet, that there is life on other planets, that there's interdimensional life. You know, wow. Wow. What does that mean exactly for us? And how long have there been programs going on where the government has been secretly working either with backwards technology or secretly working with aliens? Look, my crazy strange theory is that we are like cattle for the aliens. Maybe they harvest our blood, they harvest our sexual reproductive organs. Maybe they use us as I don't know. There's so many crazy questions we can ask. And when I talk about aliens, I feel a little kooky, but not so much these days. I used to feel kooky. I used to feel a little, you know, like, hey, Oren's talking about aliens again. You know, it's not just aliens I would talk about. It's the possibilities beyond Earth, the possibilities of space and travel and interplanetary, interplanetary relations with other cultures, because I know we're not the only thing. We're not the only thing. I mean, we could even be the aliens. You know, they could be future travel where they come back from the future, and maybe the birth rates have dropped. Maybe we're not able to reproduce the same ways. I don't know. It's just crazy thoughts. Always I have crazy thoughts about aliens. My biggest crazy thought is that they're smoking really good weed. The aliens have like the most fire. Like if you talk about fire, the aliens have the fire of the universe. They have the best weed. So I want to smoke with them. When they come down, they come in peace. You come in peace. I come in peace. Let's smoke together. This is what I think about. This is what I dream about, is getting high with the aliens. finding out about the structure of space and time and the fabric of space and time while getting high with the aliens. Would love to have them on my show. I would sit here with the aliens and be like, look, come on to the highly motivated podcast. Come chit chat, come smoke, come sesh with the community. I'm probably asking too much. So anyways, tonight, the talk of talks, the talk this evening is alien disclosure. And I know my presentation of it is definitely lackluster tonight because my brain is still all over the place. I was driving all day. I had visited multiple different places, had some great meetings all over Florida. Just, that's what it felt like. I was all over Florida. I left super early in the morning and I just got back. Walked in the door to start the show. So I'm still a little razzle-dazzle. I'm still a little farmished. Farmished would be the word. Farmished is scrambled in the head. Scrambled in the brain right now. And, you know, I think it's all the things at the end of the day, when you smoke that joint with community, with a little smoke sesh right now, the whole day feels like it's unloading. Like it's information that's now downloading into the quantum mainframe. We're all individual quantum computers, and there's a giant quantum mainframe that we're just downloading into. So when I get home and I smoke that joint, whether it's on the show or off the show, and I'm getting home and smoking that joint, I feel like it's a download. Like I'm just sitting there and my whole day is just playing out. Oh, excuse me. Gassy because of the Dr. Pepper. Okay. And I'm enjoying this so much. I have not had the pleasure, and I haven't had the pleasure of smoking gold flower for like a week and a half. And it really shows. When you have to smoke other people's stuff, it's subpar. It's just not quite there. And then you smoke gold flower and you're like, wow, that was it. That's what I was looking for. Look, I've smoked so many joints from so many different, companies this last week and a half. And the whole joint really, I won't get me high. I don't feel an entourage effect from it. This thing, like halfway through, a couple puffs in, I was already like, ooh, that's exciting. But it's a lot of things that come together. It's flavor, it's taste, it's aroma. The high THC is not enough. For me, the terpenes are a big deal and which way they lean. For me, the initial aroma is a big deal because that tells my brain whether that's something I want. That tells my body if that's the mood and that's the flow that I'm going with. Yeah, that's just great. That you could tell that was just cured right, dried right. And these are the BZ, the smalls, the small buds. But I'll tell you what, they were tight, they were compact, and once you open it up, they were still sticky and juicy, and left my fingers beautifully sticky. Just got me so excited. That's where I get excited. I get excited when I'm breaking up the weed with my hands. I don't like to use a grinder. Instead, I like to break it up by hand. For me, that's much more exciting. You get the aroma, you get the flavor, and there's a ritual to it. There's a ritual in breaking it down. Ooh, that is juicy. Once again, I'm going to mention it before I start talking about aliens again. I'm going to mention Oregonji.com. Check out the website. I am putting up articles, at least some sticky icky. That's what I do. I saw that article. I love the sticky icky. Check out Oregonji.com. Every week, I'm putting up new articles talking about Parkinson's and cannabis. My most recent article we just put up was anti-aging and cannabis. Anti-aging. Look, we're getting older, obviously. But here's the thing, we're living longer. We are living longer. So we want to live healthier. We want to live not just longer, but more active, more alive, not in pain. Cannabis helps with that. Cannabis also helps with regenerative abilities to our system, our skin and our hair, our hormones and our testosterone. Cannabis can help in so many different ways when it comes to anti-aging. So in the art, it's CBGA, neuroplasticity of the brain. So that way, when it comes to the older we get, we want to retain our memories. We want to retain the strength of our brain and the strength of our thinking. Alzheimer's, dementia, these things can really, they can jump in and really ruin your day. So CBGA as a tea. So tea, making tea. And those of you know, I love tea. I love tea. I'm all about tea. And I think tea will change the world. Tea, if you've never had an amazing cup of tea, then your world has not been changed. If you sit there and say, tea, what are you talking about tea? Look, tea is amazing on its own, but mixed with the right cannabis, with the right tea, now the two work in a synergistic combination to rejuvenate the body and rejuvenate the mind. Oh, anti-aging and cannabis. So Oregonji.com, come to the website and check it out. On the website, new articles, Parkinson's and cannabis, arthritis, blending and buttering and doing more than just smoke. Multiple articles. But the most recent one is anti-aging and cannabis. Just getting younger one puff at a time. I don't think that's the whole article. But here on the show, I try not to get serious, but the last few topics that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks have been incredibly serious. The last couple of weeks have been such deep topics that, we were talking about portals and time loops the other day. That was deep. That was interesting. Very exciting. But I feel like I'm smoking a joint. Maybe I'm already high. It just, look, this is gas chata. So if you're going to Goldflower, get yourself some gas chata. The one in Ocala. So the one in Ocala, it's a great price. I want to say it's, I don't even know. I can't even remember right now. That's how good their flower is. It really, really blows me away. And I also picked up something else. So I also picked up, let me see, is this what I picked up right here? Top Gun. So this right here is live rosin batter, Top Gun. And that's going to be for the Puffco Proxy. What was I just spitting out? Weed? I ate some weed earlier just to taste it, to see what's going on with it. Okay, so there's something going on in less than a month. I believe that's going to be the pre-roll. Let me see, buy two, get one free. So excited for the pre-roll ER event. So that's in less than a month. I'm excited then about that as well. Sticky icky, absolutely. It's amazing for your body, the sativa tea. Yes, it is. Not just for your stomach, for your mind, for regenerating old cells in the body. So CBGA, since you're doing it in a tea, it's not processing, but instead assimilating and getting directly into the bloodstream. So it's assimilating, it's getting directly into the bloodstream, and we're talking about body rejuvenation with the proper tea. Now, I love mixing tea with things like Dhamania or Blue Lotus or Passion Flower. Opens up the circulatory system. Sage is a beautiful thing. Holy basil. The things that you can mix into your tea to activate the cannabis. Mwah, wow. And we're going to get into that maybe Friday. I think that's a pretty good topic for Friday. Because I love tea. And when I turn people on to tea, At first, they'll hear me and they're like, "Yeah, what are you talking about? You're taking your bud and you're making tea from it." Well, you can't make tea from everybody's bud. It's got to be juicy. It's got to be the sticky icky. It has to be. I love organic. Love organic. Organics or nada. I love organics. I prefer it for it to have a healthy amount of crystals and trichomes, and sugar on those leaves. So that's more my preference when I'm making a tea. There we go. So when I'm making a tea, I do prefer certain things. Tea is exciting. Remember, you're dealing now with the precursor to THC. So you're dealing with CBG. And if you're doing it at a low enough temperature, you're dealing with CBGA. So that now it's doing a live decarboxylation in your body, a live change. Whew, isn't that exciting? And it is, but it's doing a quick change. That acidic is quickly dissipating in your body. If you're doing a tea at 250 and below, 250 degrees and below, cannabis starts to decarboxylate. It starts to change at 250 degrees. I'm spitting on everything. I'm just like drooling. I don't even, okay. So it starts to change. It starts to decarboxylate. So when I talk about doing tea and then incorporating some natural, beautiful herbs, oh, wow. Wow. I mean, wow, what that does for your body, like ashwagandha or, maybe let's talk about that a little bit tonight. I didn't want to get too serious with my, I didn't want to get too serious yet with my talk of aliens, but we will. I still want to talk about aliens, but we're going to talk about the tea a little bit as well. Mentioning aliens, look, just think about it. Don't necessarily desensitize yourself. Aliens are living in the oceans. They are working with our governments. And tonight, we're going to talk about disclosure. I'll get to it in a moment. We're going to talk about disclosure, the congressional disclosure that just happened just a couple days ago. That's wild. Okay, swinging back around to the tea, because I just want to talk a little bit about tea. So, mullein and tea is mullein smooths out any. So if you're making a tea with your cannabis, mullein is great for lung health. It supports lung health, and it adds a smoothness to the tea that is just absolutely incredible. Maybe damania. It's known for more relaxing, and maybe it's mildly euphoric. That and blue lotus. So blue lotus and damania, those two together create more of a calming and almost euphoric trip in the tea. Like chamomile. Look, chamomile, black tea, chamomile. Again, it soothes the mind and body and great for relaxation. I like citrus and spearmint added to my tea. That's going to get the blood flow moving, especially first thing in the morning with like a breakfast tea or hops. Hops are great. I mean, that's some of the yerba mate, rosemary, green tea leaves, orange peel, sage, thyme. All of this is beautiful in your tea. All of this is delicious with your cannabis. What I really enjoy, I think what I really enjoy is the combination of things, the synergistic combination. I like to make tea with herbs, but I also like to make tea with, and I want to see if I can find it. I like to make tea and smoke herbs and cannabis together. So I like to use herbs with cannabis to make a beautiful tea, including ginger and cloves, all these beautiful things. But if I'm going to smoke my cannabis, sometimes, and more times than not, I've gotten very used to it. I've gotten very used to mixing different flowers into my cannabis. So if I'm rolling a special joint, and I haven't done one like that on the show, which I'm almost ashamed of myself. I need to. I need to do maybe like a Blue Lotus and Damania mix, or maybe something like so maybe let's talk about some of those, like lavender. Lavender is beautiful floral scents, great calming effects. Earlier I was talking about Damania, where it's slightly euphoric. Mulin, it smooths out the smoke, so maybe it creates more of a softer, more gentle ride in your cannabis. One of my favorites, I'd have to say, would be Blue Lotus. So the Blue Lotus, it's very dreamy. Blue Lotus it's like an aphrodisiac, just kind of gives you a great vibe and a great, hey, how you doing? It just makes you feel good as a you type of person. It's a little euphoric. It makes you feel like you're up in the clouds, like you're light on your feet. That is a great smoke. And that's Blue Lotus, Damania, lavender, chamomile, mulin. These things you can smoke with your cannabis. We might do more of a show on that, like on Friday. We'll talk about what you can smoke with your cannabis, because to me that's a big deal. Ooh, are you? Let me tell. Which one? You must be doing the. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. I see right over here, putting some of Ricky's flower in my tea now. Check this out. Look. I've got some right here that I picked up. This one right here, orange bowl. I'm gonna make a tea from this one. That is wild. I picked it up specifically to make a tea. So this is cannabis right here. And this is an orange bowl. Very, very orangey. I mean, like, wow. It's a stinky, gassy orange. Just delicious. So I was going to use this to make tea with a really interesting blend. But again, right now, quickly, I'm just talking about smoking it. So you can smoke different herbs with your cannabis. Like, look, passion flower, that's another beautiful one. It reduces anxiety, and it's got a beautiful sweetness to it. There's things like wild daga, produces psychoactive effects, and combined with cannabis, it enhances your cannabis, enhances your bud. So, for some reason, I'm not getting, I'll eat it. A little bit wet in my mouth. I don't do filters. When I roll a joint, you'll see, no filters. I just do a little twisty at the ends. And the twisty usually is enough. And I enjoy eating raw cannabis. But for some reason, when it comes out of my joint, it's not the same. Good to the very end. That was really enjoyable. That right there was the gas chata. Gas chata, delicious, really, really nice. Really enjoyed that. Boy, oh boy, I did not find anything wrong with that whatsoever. So when you're talking about smoking things with your bud, mixing things with your flower, hops, you can mix hops and smoke hops. It's got beautiful terpenes that are similar to cannabis, and it has a very sedative, mood-enhancing property to it. So the hops, you're laid back, and you have a very, bright mood. So you're relaxed, but you're bright in the head, bright in the mood. Hops can do wonders with your cannabis. Hops, so adding herbs shapes the direction of where your cannabis is going to go. And sometimes doing a combination of some of these different herbs can be, wow, night and day. I mean, especially if your bud is, okay bud. Well, then you can turn around, you can take some peppermint or spearmint and completely change up the flavor, dried peppermint and spearmint. You could do some like rosemary, and rosemary is great for sharpening focus and adds beautiful aromatic qualities. Remember, aroma is such a big deal when smoking bud. Holy basil, I mentioned earlier. It has great, holy basil is beautiful for energy, brings a lot of energy to the joint. Look, it opens up the blood vessels. It gets blood pumping through the body. It awakens the cells in the body. Remember, you're doing things in combination. Even smoking green tea leaves, which offer a gentle stimulation, maybe a light, like earthy flavor you might get out of those. Other things you can add for flavor and aroma, like rose petals or orange peels, dried orange peels, but really broken down nicely, or citrus zest, sage, thyme. Both of these gorgeous. Vanilla bean scrapings. Let me see. If you want to add things to your cannabis for respiratory support, mullein is a big one. Mullein really loosens up everything and all that congestion in the body and really helps bring that out. Especially when you add that to your cannabis, it's going to create a smooth smoke. But afterwards, or I guess in its working, it's breaking up what's in the chest there. Colt's foot soothes a respiratory system, soothes pain. Like a ton of lemon in it with the orange bowl becomes like overwhelming. It does become overwhelming. It does. When the orange bowl is so powerful that flavor just kind of overtakes. And but lemon, I would see even putting a little bit of lemon in that just kind of activates that terpene and gets that citrus just definitely overwhelming. You're gonna laugh, but there's, I think, cloves. So putting a couple of not laugh, but whatever, cloves. Cloves are gonna even that out a little bit. And the cloves are absolutely delicious. I like eucalyptus, opens up airways, marshmallow leaf, licorice root, colt's foot, mullein. All of these things are going to help the respiratory. All of these things are going to kick your cannabis into overdrive. It's going to kick your regular cannabis now becomes respiratory support. Your regular cannabis becomes more than just, oh, I'm getting lifted. I'm feeling better. You're feeling better. And now you're also working on your respiratory health. That's wild. To me, that's wild. Earlier, I'm talking about anti-aging in cannabis. And that's wild. Cannabis can be a great medium when worked with and used in combination. But I think that's one of the greatest things. Now, if you want to get more mystical and spiritual with your cannabis, I recommend the Blue Lotus. Getting some really nice Egyptian organic Blue Lotus, you get beautiful lucid dreaming, and it's easy to get to meditative states. Mugwort, it's dreamy. It also helps with dreams, but it puts you in a dreamy state of mind, and also it enhances dreams. So Blue Lotus and Mugwort together, smoking that with your cannabis, especially if you're smoking it with a sativa, because the sativa is a vasodilator. So it opens up the blood vessels, so allows that to get deeper into the body, deeper into the cells. White sage, to me, that's more aromatic. It's a little strong for me. So I usually, and then you got things like cinnamon bark, great for flavor, but it also adds this warmth that a lot of things in smoke don't. It's like cloves or spices and cloves, or I can't remember what it is. I used to smoke, but I guess we used to smoke cloves. Those cigarettes, they were just so powerful. But cinnamon bark elevates the mood. And it's important to note that all these different herbs are kind of doing something special. Like there's Kalea zakatachichi. Kalea zakatachichi. That is called the dream herb, only because it's known to enhance and create vivid dreaming. So you drink that at night before you're going to sleep, or maybe in the afternoon, so that it already starts getting into your system. But it enhances, creates, promotes, manifests incredibly vivid dreams. So that was the Kalea Zakatakachichi. there's a lot you can do. Um, but especially when you're smoking it, make sure you stay organic 100%. Use these herbs in moderation with your cannabis. So if you're getting a blend that's meant for a 1 gram joint, or you're blending in, you've really got to look at how much you're using. For example, saffron threads. So when making tea and adding saffron threads to your tea, you can't add too many. You have to be, regardless that it's an expensive product, but see, I see it down there. Used to smoke the clove cigarettes. Mulin, by the way, it's Mulin with an M. And I've got to get a microphone. So I'm working on getting a microphone because I heard that all my podcasts, since I've been using this device, it sounds like I'm lisping. Not that I give a shit. And if you enjoy my lisp, then you enjoy my lisp. Lisp. But I'm going to get a microphone to make it more super professional. But Mulin is incredible. I do Mulin drops, like concentrated Mulin leaf, and I put it in a little bit of water. I do a little mixy, and I drink it. And that really helps my respiratory because I feel as though sometimes I have breathing issues. Let me see. Man, I used to smoke cloves, Mulin. I'm just going to pour my spice cabinet into my tea. You can, but look, no, it's certain, like holy basil. You only want to do a holy basil. Sage, there are some gorgeous purple, aromatic, I wanted to say sexy sages, but there's some great sage, great rosemary, great thyme, and you want organic. It does so much for your tea. Like when I take ginger, I like crystallized, candied ginger because it's sugared or it has a sugary quality. So when I put it into my tea and it's steeping, that is steeping in with it all. But it's getting a beautiful fresh ginger. Or I like to take fresh ginger and just right in. Not a dry ginger, but a fresh. Because that's powerful. And if you're not used to a fresh ginger right there in your tea, then don't jump right into that. Take your time. So I was saying everything kind of in moderation. Everything, do small amounts. So when you're smoking cannabis with added herbs, it's your full joint of cannabis. That is how I'm explaining it. And then a little itsy bitsy amount of something else, only to add a little bit of oomph, maybe to add a little bit of whoo. You want to do everything with moderation. So with the sage, I was just going to mention sage, not sage, saffron threads, very expensive, little red threads, but incredible flavor and aroma, just incredible. Nothing else brings you what the saffron will bring you. When you're making a tea, put 1 or 2 little threads. That's it. In large amounts, saffron is poisonous. In large amounts, saffron is poisonous to the system because it's too much vitamin C. It's too much of what's coming in. You can't have more than 5 grams of that's like the poisonous amount. At 5 grams of saffron a day, that would be way too much. 1 gram of saffron a day would be probably too much. Just, some bougie saffron eater are you? I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. So it's always be very wary of how much you're using. Always use it in moderation. Moderation is the greatest thing to speak of when it talks about cannabis. That's to me the most important thing, especially when you're doing any kind of specific blend. Also check for allergies. You don't know that you might be allergic to certain things like blue lotus or damania. These are herbs that are, or the Calea zacatacachichi. That's a Mexican herb that maybe you might be allergic to, or some of these your body might be adverse to. So before making a tea with a blend of different things that you just don't know. Try individual things to see how your body takes to it. Let me see. Wait. Let me see. I'm just going to pull my spike. Have I done any research into mushrooms with cannabis for whole body health? Yes, I have. Absolutely. Now, my last show, I was on mushrooms. I've got to tell you, my last show, I was energyless. I was unmotivated. Before the show, I think I fell asleep, or no, was it that the day I fell asleep? Maybe. I was just completely drained, mentally and physically, just totally drained. So what did I do? Emergency stash. I went into my mushroom chocolate, and I did a little microdose. Now, for me, mushrooms help soften the trip, or the blending of phases that you might go through when you're doing mushrooms. Instead of getting like, whoa, I'm on mushrooms. Wow. Instead, it was more like, hey, okay, I'm feeling pretty nice. I think it's working. I think the cannabis helps give my body the opportunity, or gives my brain and body the opportunity to assimilate the entourage, to help assimilate and get ready for the next phase in that trip. If I take a lot of mushroom, I mean, when I say a lot, if you have a whole chocolate bar and that's your mushroom chocolate bar, I don't know what grammage you might have in different, where you get it or how you make it, or however, blah, 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 blah. All that being said, I like to usually take one little square of the chocolate once every couple of days, once every 3 to 4 days, just to help even out the mind. But cannabis has been the strength that gives my mind and my body the ability to I guess I'm searching for the word right now. Gives my mind and my body the time it needs when I take mushrooms. Instead of it being a lot at one time, it's easy, and it's an easy ride. There you go. Cannabis helps make it an easy ride. So as far as mushrooms and cannabis, I really just feel like the effects of them together make it easier on you, easier to assimilate, easier to bring all your thoughts together. If it's just mushrooms, then sometimes that can be very powerful. One time, I took way too much. I mean, there's a few times when it came to mushrooms, I took too much. But it was I never felt like it could hurt me. And that's one of the greatest things. Same with cannabis. I mean, there's been many times where I felt like, whoa, I smoked a lot. But that's it. Right there. It's not going to kill me. So I smoked a lot. All right, big deal. It'll wear off in a little bit. Maybe I'll sleep. Maybe I'll eat. Maybe I'll nosh. Who knows? Whatever. But in that, I think that's it can't hurt me, so I wasn't worried. So same with mushrooms. I think together, though, using them just makes it smoother. Makes it easier. I'm going to light this one up. I'm really hoping the Purple Haze is good. If it's really good, I'll tell you where I got it. Or wait, no, I guess I can't I? All right, let me just light it up. We'll find out. I've got high hopes for the Purple Haze. And then after that, we're probably going to try out the Top Gun. The Top Gun the live rosin batter. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is, I think, their Space Coast version, or Space Coast brand of live rosin. Space Coast it is. There you go. Space Coast live rosin batter. Top Gun. Woo! Okay. And I was so lucky. It was like the last one they had. It was like meant for me. I came in and it was like, oh, wait a second. It's kind of interesting. Interesting aroma. Very strong. It's strong. I mean, it's not. I was trying not to. I was trying to let that be and see if I was going to cough naturally, and I did. It's strong. Like when I say strong, so this is kind of like the weed I used to smoke, let's say 20 years ago. This right here is this, it tastes like, now it doesn't look like it, but it tastes like, it tastes like the swag I used to get that was in bricks, and you have to peel it off. So I'll show you. I mean, it's dry, but I can smell the citrus. I can smell hints of floral. And I mean, it's not terrible. I don't think it's organic. And I don't think, and obviously it does not look like it was hand trimmed. It looks like that was sent through a roller where most of the trichomes were probably knocked off. That's why it's so much drier. It's okay. This will be just, this seems like an okay on the side if I'm looking to smoke something. That's what this will be. But not impressed. I mean, maybe I should give it more of a chance. Gold flower does spoil me. When I smoke their stuff, it's really good. Like, it's really good. It's hard to deny. But I also love to use it to make tea. So this Friday, we're probably going to make some tea. And we will probably talk this Friday a little bit more about blending things into your cannabis, blending flower and different herbs, different spices. I know that seems almost crazy, wild, you say. And it is, but it's not. This is what they've been doing in Europe and other countries. Well, no, in Europe and other countries, they mix tobacco. So it's called blending. So the act of, I'm going to put this down. I'm not crazy about that one. I'm very picky about my flower. Very picky. So gold flower has really done a number to me. When I smoke their flower, look, that's exciting. Okay, so while we chats, I'm just gonna loady ups the Top Gun, and this should be a fresh press. Oh wow! Look at that. Are you excited? I'm excited. I am excited. Looky. Oh, so anyways, I was saying, this Friday, I think we're going to talk about tea, making tea. Well, that's a big one. I just picked a big piece out of this, and I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing right now. There we go. Let me just show you. That's the amount I'm going to put in there. That's not a large amount. And I'm going to put that into the Puffco Proxy. I've got the thing open. I cleaned it out. The pipe itself is not clean, just the bowl. So the banger, or the bowl, I'm going to take this. We're going to drop it right into here. Okay. Drop off. There we go. Lovely, fantastic, excelente. We'll put this off to the side. We close everything up. So anyways, next week we're going to talk about blending things with our tea, different tea blends, which we will have available on Oregonji.com. Also come to Oregonji.com for new articles, new educational pieces that are being put out weekly. So every single week we're putting out multiple articles, if not multiple, just one. But hopefully multiple articles every week will be put out on Oregonji.com. So if you're wanting to learn about cannabis, learn about its effects, learn about its combination, learn about its possibilities, on Oregonji.com, you'll be able to see everything. Right there, you'll see the articles, so scroll down to the bottom. And on top, remember to register, put your email in for a chance, if you're in Florida, to win a free medical card or free recertification. We're going to be drawing weekly. But if we draw your name and, you're not in Florida, or you already have a medical card or whatever, we have some other great prizes. So that's what's going to be happening. Pretty excited. So go to the website, register, do the whole thing, scroll down a little bit more. We got great articles, and we're going to be doing that every week, more cannabis education. So when you have questions about cannabis, Oregonji is going to answer them. And usually, if we can, right here on the show, live, 3 times a week, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. No expectations about the conversation, because tonight I wanted to talk about aliens. Tonight I want to talk about disclosure and us being so desensitized as a community. We're so blasé, like whatever, aliens, who gives a shit? Trump's in the White House. What are we doing? Aliens, Russia with nuclear war. There's a lot of things going on right now, and we are too relaxed as a community, as everybody. We are way too relaxed at the recent news and the recent happenings. So tonight I was supposed to talk about aliens, but I didn't. Instead, I started talking about blending beautiful herbs and spices with your cannabis to make tea, or blending herbs and beautiful flowers and spices to smoke with your cannabis. That's amazing. There's gonna be a lot. We're gonna talk about it on Friday, I think. We're gonna go through and we're gonna explain what the different blends can do together. Maybe we'll make a tea live on the show, depending on what's going on, unless I'm running into the house minutes before the show starts, or a minute, or late, like today. I was 2 minutes late. But you'll be able to find me right here, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, just having a smoke sesh, just getting high, just talking to community. So yes, we'll have a topic. Yes, we'll have topics and big things to talk about, or we'll have absolutely nothing to talk about, and really enjoy the community coming together. Really enjoying having everybody here from Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I enjoy it. I enjoy these sessions. I enjoy these moments where we can get together as a community. For me, this is great. For me, this is the end goal. This is what I was looking for. So it's already what I wanted it to be. It's already becoming everything and more. So that's why I tell you, look, like it if you like it, share it if you share it, do what you want to do. I don't care. It's not about that. It's not about tell everybody about it, bring the world in, but it is about that. At the same time, I don't want to ever force that energy, but I want the world to come together. Highly motivated every single day. I want the world to come together, highly enthusiastic every single day. I want to push out energy and frequency in the right direction always. As a community, working together, pushing out all that energy and all that positivity, all that enthusiasm, and all that positive frequency. Oh, excuse me. The Dr. Pepper is so good, but it makes me gassy. Don't ask me where that one came from right now. Just go with it. Okay, Top Gun. I want to try it out. So, Puffco Proxy. I do want to mention, look, the older I'm getting, I need a higher THC. Smoking cannabis is great, and it gives you that initial entourage, and it gives you that initial high, but that dissipates very quickly. When I do the concentrate, which I just showed you a moment ago, the batter, when I do the concentrate, I can do less of an amount, smoke that concentrate, and if I'm doing nothing else, that brings me up on a very nice entourage. Not brings me up, it brings me up. And it keeps my body there for a long period of time. And just maybe later I'll smoke a little bit and it'll bring me back to a very nice even balance. I don't know what that was, this wave level over here. So anyways, Puffco Proxy, they don't support me in any way, but I love these things. They're convenient, they're easy. I feel a bit like Sherlock Holmes. They're incredibly easy to clean. I don't solve any crimes though. I don't. It'd be great. That'd be awesome. But I don't. Okay. So let's get this started. Easy C-type charger right over here. Boom, boom, boom. Charges the device up. I've set mine to low because I like to taste it. I like to get a different entourage. You know, instead of burning it, I like to get some of those different compounds and compounds. I like those compounds over there. Those cannabinoids and compounds. All right, so pressing the button, 1, 2. Okay, it buzzed. When it buzzes again, that means it's ready. And I'm very excited about it. I was just reading the comment again. Have I done any research in the mushrooms? I'm just going to stop right there. I've done an incredible amount of research in the mushrooms. And I'm constantly researching and re-researching mushrooms. Ooh, it buzzed, excuse me. And remember, I'm sipping. Wow, very earthy. Planty, almost. Like, initially getting a very, like, grassy-like. Now the terps are coming in a lot stronger. Wow, very solid, like very heavy coming in. Earthy, a little lemony, piney, earthy, lemony, piney, grassy. And that was the Top Gun. A little spice in the background. But very heady with its effect. Like very, like immediate, like right here. And I can feel it just kind of sitting right there, tingling up in the brain. It's a very clear high. Very, like if I bit on a lemon or something. It's nice. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Okay. Well, meantime, let me try something else. Let me try either the JGT. Yeah, I'm going to save this for tea. So we're going to do the JGT. And I don't know what that abbreviation is. So if you go to Goldflower, you're going to say, look, I want the JGT flower. It's an ideal brand in Goldflower. We're going to load the pipe, the individual pipe. The Top Gun was nice. Actually, ooh, interesting. Let me look at that. Well, I might be able to get another session out of that. Let me let that cool just a moment, because I don't want to burn the product in the proxy. And we're going to open up. I opened up the JGT, which, just to let you know, is 29.8% THC, and the terpenes are 1.77, which I still find to be very impressive. Anything? Ooh, shit, that is impressive. Look at that in the tray. Ooh, oh. We'll just pick that right up. That look at those crystals on that. I mean, from here, I'm looking at the screen, I can see it. I'm not getting the initial aroma that I'm hoping, but I could be a little congested in here. Remember, I just took that hit from the Top Gun, and that could be influencing me. Ooh, there's some deep aromas in that, though. Look at that gorgeousness. That's a good-looking bud. And that's one solid bud. That's what it was. Sitting in this tray, one solid bud, and I like that. Let's try it out. Let's get the pipe out. Dun, dun, dun. The pipe isn't very clean, but that's okay. So we're going to crack the bud. Ooh, it's got some deep flavor. I'm excited. It's sticky too. I'm breaking it up a little bit. Super duper sticky. Wow. Oh. I can't wait. All right. I mean, I'm putting it in here. It's sticky, super sticky. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's like I want to say it's when you break it up, that's when the aroma comes out. It's funky. Oh, I don't know what this is, but it's funky. Piney, funky. Oh, almost like a blue cheese in the background. Wow, this, wait, I'm just what I like. I'm like drooling on it. This, wow. At first I didn't smell it in the bud, the bud itself. I'm smelling the bud and I really don't smell anything. And even where I cracked it off from, I don't smell it. But then I took some of the smaller bud that I was just breaking up with my hands, just breaking up a little bit for the pipey pipes and, the little bit pieces. And I'm putting those deep into my nose. I mean, nobody's going to smoke. I'm smoking it. Oh, but it comes out with such a beautiful aroma, so much so that my brain activated. It's those receptors, and it's like, yes, I love it. That's it. That's what you love right there. And it is. Every one of those smells are some of the main things I look for in a great cannabis. I love that deep stink. A deep stink that where you're like, what am I smoking? It's like you put it down, it's like, I have to smoke more of that. That's amazing. That deep stink is activating parts of your brain that regular terpenes in regular food or regular flowers just can't do. Cannabis. Terpenes are specific just to that plant, and it activates the body. Look at that. Look how excited I just got. I feel that. All right, where's my lighter? All right, here we go. Goldflower JGT, 29%, 1.7 on the terps, where I'm telling you, at first I opened the bag, I really didn't smell it. I cracked the bud, and I was like, but then when I broke it up, even right, wow, that is a heavenly combination together. I can smell that blue cheesiness a little. Delish. All right, I'm gonna hit it with the pipe. The pipe's a little dirty, but I don't have time. I have no time to clean things right now. I gotta do laundry tomorrow. What am I doing? Wow. It's got beautiful flavor. Immediately, I taste that on my tongue and my cheeks, and it's like it's coming together like a juicy something right there. That's nice. Ooh. That first hit's the most important because that's when you're really hitting it. Let me take another quick hit before it all gets burnt up and the flavor really goes away. That's like a terpy, like a terpy peach. No, it doesn't taste like peaches. But if it were a peach, like a juicy peach, that would be a terpy peach of flavors just coming together. I'll have to find out what that is. I mean, JGT, but it's the abbreviation. It was a long name. And I was like, what the hell is that? You know something? It's new. I want to try it. Bring it on. They're like, don't you want to smell it first? They have a bud bar. And the bud bar is where you can smell the bud beforehand and see if how your body reacts to it. I was like, no, let me do it live. Let me do it live on the show. Let me smell it. Let me taste it. Let me get into it and see what this is all about. So already we did the gas chata. I smoked a joint because I've smoked it before. But I smoked a joint of the gas chata, and it was a small itsy bitsy buds, but powerful flavor, powerful effects. Really, I felt the gas chata more sitting here, you know, working that kind of magic, and it felt good, but it wasn't overly powerful where it hit me in the head. Then we tried the purple haze from the unknown supplier, and or known enough where I'm trusting it enough to smoke it, but not, you know. And I'm gonna put it down. It's not to my quality of smoke during the show. If I'm gonna smoke during the show, I hold that smoke to a very high quality. I hold that smoke to, look, I'm not just gonna smoke anything with y'all. It doesn't just have to look good, it has to taste good. It has to smell good. It doesn't have to be the highest quality. I was smoking something the other day, the unicorn meat. Flipping delicious. Delicious. Or the blueberry headband. Very tasty for budget bud. Very tasty for budget bud. And I'm not saying right now where I got. I mean, if you know, and you know where those strains are at right now. I tried the black truffle the other day and the pitted cherry. It's good budget bud. It's good because it tasted okay. It smelled pretty good. Pretty super danky dankies. So it was dank, which I love the dankiness. That helps me in different ways. But I love that danky. Had an okay taste. Nothing overwhelming. Just a good regular budget smoke. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Budget smoke. So we all need because look, times are tough and you don't want to spend all your money, you know, to get, because if you smoke, I smoke every day. So when you smoke every single day, you want quality. You want quality, but you don't want to spend everything. That's why I like Gold Flower. It's bougie bud. The price isn't bad. But I haven't been out to Ocala. So, you know, this was the first opportunity. I loaded up with what I could get, and impressed is not just the word. I'm super high because the Top Gun, the batter, which if you didn't see the batter, let me just show it to you one more time. I might even take another hit out of the pipe because it looks like I can get another session with the same batter that I put in there earlier. Look at that. Isn't that delish? Wow. Oh, just right there. That's powerful. That's powerful action right there. Super love this. The high was nice on it. It was immediate. Told you it was head, right to the head, brought it. Very powerful. But right now we're smoking the JGT, which is at 29%. Wasn't initially impressed until I broke it apart. And that smell right there of that cheesy and the piney, and wow, just super delish. And smoking it really had a very nice entourage right now, because right now I can feel it right here, coming up into my jowls. I'm supposing that's what it is. At the moment, I think this is my Sean Connery impression. It's terrible, I understand. We'll not talk about this ever again. Okay, moving along. Oh, sorry. I can tell I'm a little famished right now. I think that got me. Hey, Travi's here, SST Life. Welcome to the show from LinkedIn, it looks like. So we're here on the Smoke Sesh, and what's fantastic, we have ourselves one of our Florida cannabis influencers. So if you've done anything on Instagram, you'll note, and you'll ever see any SST Life, he's here with us right now. Welcome to the show. Now you'll notice, look, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And we come to you 3 times a week. 3 times a week. Loving it. And it's exciting. It's exciting because, remember, no expectations. We're just here hanging out. As a community, we're all the same under the leaf. And even if you don't smoke, we're still part of that community. We're still part of that tree of life. And we are all evolving together as a gigantic family. You know, we're all kind of in a giant cannabis family, endocannabinoid family. We all have that system within us, and it craves for homeostasis. It craves for community. We crave community. So here we are, and thank you, Travis, for coming in, coming into the show. We appreciate it. Super awesome. Glad you could join us. But that's what this is. We enjoy it a lot. This is Smoke Sesh. So let me finish off this bowl. Maybe I'll load a little bit more here, or I'll load a little bit more there. One moment. Okay, JGT. And the bowl to me is about done. JGT from Goldflower, 29%. I don't know what the abbreviation is. I wish I did. It's a long name, so I'm glad they abbreviated it. But after you take 3 hits out of the bowl, it's done. It's cashed. Cashed would mean it's finito. It's a done. That's it. No more. And the thing is, I do that because I want to. For me, cannabis isn't just about getting a high. It's about that flavor. It's about that clean flavor and that clean entourage. So when you're packing a fresh bowl, that first hit is everything. I try not to, there's nothing in the bowl right now, but I try not to have the flame right on top of the bowl. Instead, I like to hold it maybe right above. This way, I'm not getting all that butane contamination. Also, I'm not getting the heat as much. Instead, I'm getting less heat. So I'm not burning it, overly burning it. I'm trying to get some of those cannabinoids assimilated into the body. I'm trying to get some of that deep into my system. So I'm holding it right above. You see, right above. That way we don't do too much heat. Not too much. Okay. Wait, let me just use my tool. The other end of the dab stick, not this end. That end is for the batter. Whatever. And then the other end is my pokey pokies. So you just want a little bit of pokey pokies into the pipe, right there. Just a little bit right there. Just poke some things out. Don't go crazy. Don't be silly. Okay, lovely. Passage, path, pathways clear. Okay, I'm gonna load more of this JGT really quickly because I want to taste that first initial hit. That first initial hit, I want to taste it. When I tasted it a moment ago, I thought, wow, that was really neat. But I don't think I got a really good enough, first initial hit, and I burned too much of it, not realizing how deep the flavor on this one actually is. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. That smell that I got earlier, that cheesy blue cheese, that envelops my mouth immediately. Ooh, just delicious. I'm breathing in that aroma. I'm sucking it right in. This is, remember that first hit or two from the bowl is really going to be everything as far as flavor. And after that, the rest of the product is pretty much burnt. Wow. I'm like eating it. I'm like, nom, 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 nom. I'm like eating the smoke. Smokies. First two hits on that one, and that's the JGT, that's really delicious. Now in a bowl. Now, if I was smoking that in a joint, which I'm going to roll a joint of that probably right after the show. That I think would be delicious every single hit. Every single hit of a joint, the smoke of that, and you get that blue cheesy, you get that piney, you get that little bit of gas. Woo, woo, that's the combination. Gets me very excited. That was nice. And that's when I broke it up. I'm telling you, I had that big old bud, but you break the bud and you get the little pieces off, and then you just break those little pieces up, and now, oh, I'm in heaven. That's nice. That's the smell that I truly enjoy. So that's going to be good. We're going to be smokily tokeling on that maybe a little bit. I'm going to finish off the bowl. I'm going to repack this just a hair, because the bowl that's in there is still pretty good and clear. So instead of cleaning that out immediately, we're going to extend the session with a little bit of fresh, with the clean end, not the dirty end, the clean end. There we go, just a little bit. We're not going to go crazy there. We're not going to be like, oh, this is just a massive amount in there. What are you doing, Oren? I'm doing just a touch-up. A lot. It's a lot. That's a lot. That's a big touch-up. That's not like a regular touch-up. That's like, all right. It's like a big touch-up. Just get in there. Go. Shh. Don't say anything to anybody. Shh. Get in there. Okay, nothing. I just touched it up with a pretty large chunk of hash or batter. To me, it looks more like hash. I mean, very clean, very nice though. Very, very beautiful. Remember, had that immediate terpiness, that immediate lift in high. Definitely going to try that in just a moment. Okay, let me put this away while we're here. This is the JGT. I'm going to save the orange bowl for the tea. I think that is going to make an amazing tea. So, okay, let me see. I got interrupted by a delivery, and you're still talking about saffron, haha. I feel like I missed out, though. by the way, don't have too much saffron. You can't do more than 5 grams in a day. Really, you shouldn't do more than 1 to 2 grams of saffron threads in a day, or saffron, period. Remember, too much saffron, just letting you know, in case you missed it, too much saffron is poisonous. All right, now, see, too much of a good thing? It's not just, by the way, when you're closing these things, make sure it is closed. Like, make sure if you're not taking it out and putting it into a glass jar, make sure that it is totally closed and no air is getting in there. That's it. That's what you should do. Okay. And earlier we were chit-chatting, and I don't think you've missed out because we haven't really talked about aliens. So tonight, I wanted to talk about aliens. Tonight, I wanted to talk about disclosure. But more important is your health. More important is the health of your mind, your body, and your soul. That to me is more important. So that took precedence. So we're talking about tea. We're also talking about herbs that we can mix with our bud. But when you're mixing any kind of herbs, the right quantity is more than essential, more than important, because you've got to be very careful how it influences with its terpenes, because these are going to be natural. These are going to be organic. These are coming from a nut like a blue lotus, how I mentioned, or dandelion, or chamomile, or even cloves. Cloves can be absolutely amazing. Remember, they bring a warmth, a flavor, a spice. Delicious. Not just to your tea, to your smoky. Oh. So that's what we ended up talking about tonight. Not so much aliens, which I might still talk about. I mean, I might still go into it. But before I do go into aliens, and just, by the way, before I go into aliens, thinking about aliens, think about, before we go talk about it right now, just a chitty chatty, just a little bitty, but think about it. Think about all the strange sightings or the strange phenomenon. Think about the depths of our oceans or the farthest reaches of our planet, like the poles. And all the different reports, all the different stories that have been suppressed, held back, and even altered for better digestion or understanding or abbreviated versions of things so that you didn't dive too deep into it. Just think about it. And in that thinking that you're doing about it, I'm just going to press my buttons. I'm going to press my own buttons right now. Okay, it's on. When it buzzes again, that's when the party starts. That's when it's ready. That's when it's heated up my product. So this looks, it's a batter, but it looks like almost like a press, like a good fresh press, like after a wash and after the freeze dry and after the cure. That's what this looks like. Delicious, like very, very old school. Oh, just buzzed. Here we go. And with it, wow. I'm not blowing it in hard. I'm sipping it almost like a fine wine. Oh, Wow, the terps in that. That is like lifting. Oh, it's lemony. The lemony and the piney. What just went off? Just clearing it out. It's still got a little heat running through it. Wow. That is something. Okay, we're gonna put that down. Wait a second. Now, Travis, I see that. I see what you just said. And earlier I was mentioning that, yes, I think the aliens are coming from the ocean. I think that's why I said I want you to think about it. I'm glad you are. Thinking about the depths of our oceans, areas that we've been able to explore maybe 1%, maybe not even 1%. The Mariana Trench is so deep, so enormous, and we have seen the equivalency of one submarine or one camera. Wow. That Top Gun, powerful, very exciting. You know something? I like that. We can make Friday tea and talk. Tea and talks. That's pretty exciting. And I think that's exactly it. Wanting to talk about aliens tonight, and instead diverting into tea and things we can add to our smokable. I saw it the other day. A grower made a post. What do you add to your cannabis? And so I was like, ooh, all excited. So I started reading the guy's post, and he was just talking about blends of other cannabis into his cannabis. And I was like, oh. So I wanted to learn more about what other people add. I add things to my cannabis. I add sage or some thyme. Oh, when you smoke some thyme or sage, but a beautiful combination, a really nice organic blend. Wow. Oh, it just it wakes everything up. It's the synergistic effect of things. It's the combination. So I want to see if other people are blending with their cannabis. And most people are just blending tobacco. I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So no nicotine, no tobacco. And in that, but that's the understanding. That's how people look at it. That's blending. Let me see. Travis, Atlantis is real. Wait a second, it is. So there are two distinct places that they've really narrowed this down to. Atlantis, so there's an eye in the Sahara Desert. There is an eye at the center of the Sahara Desert. All the characteristics of this eye, I can't remember what it's called. What is the eye? Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts, and I'll definitely look it up later. But there's an eye it looks like an eye, but it's a center in the Sahara where it's a circular area with concentric circles. And at the bottom, there's an area where it shows that water was leading out to the ocean from this spot, just like Plato had said. And the place is absolutely enormous. So recent efforts have shown this is showing strong possibilities at the existence of Atlantis. Other places that were mystical are coming up as fact, as not just fiction, but fact. So Atlantis is only a matter of time before we learn about the existence of Atlantis. That's exciting. That is beyond exciting. Why? Because we're not going to immediately learn any great secrets. No, not great wonders of this magical, mystical place. But instead, we will take the teachings of Plato much more serious. Instead, we will take the teachings of many scholars much more serious, because their fiction is fact. They're writing about real places, about real things. So I think we're going to go back and listen and learn and find out more about our history. Knowing the existence of Atlantis, then we can trace the progression of the Atlanteans and where those colonies and where those people may have migrated off to. Wow, see? We have to find one place to find the many others. Let me see. How do we get to your YouTube channel? Is it the same name? The YouTube channel is Oraganji. Oraganji. Oreganji should bring you to the YouTube channel. I hope And then on the YouTube channel, there's a section for podcasts. But this show won't be there. It'll be under live. So you have to go to live, and that's what's happening right now. And then later I'll take it and I'll post it or I'll mark it as part of the podcast. You got to go through so many different channels. But that's the YouTube. We are finding out that ancient mythology is absolutely based on facts. That's exciting. That right there shows you that what we thought was fake, what we thought was just storytelling, instead was not. This is how they passed down knowledge. This is how they told the facts of. Now, granted, some of it may be elaborated. Some of it may be enhanced through storytelling. Look, you tell somebody a story, and they're going to go and tell somebody that story, and they're going to go tell somebody that story. Well, say it goes all the way around a room and comes back to you, and they tell you a story. It's going to be a different story. It's going to be different. But when you can take some of this mythology and line it up to stories and histories and places, now it gives mythology a whole new look. And now mythology becomes actual history. And that's where we've spoken about before, that the impossible is becoming possible. The impossible is changing. It's not just changing in our perception, it's changing worldwide. We are finding our true history. We're going to find next, look, mark my words, we're going to find next the ancient Egyptian, traces of ancient Egyptian history in the Grand Canyon. So that would even show that the ancient Egyptians were here in North America way before Columbus. The Vikings were here before Columbus. The Chinese were here in trade routes way before anybody else. So it's about rewriting history books, rewriting not just education, but our understanding of education. Look, the school systems are terrible. They have blocked our minds, blocked our children from being creative, individual powerhouses, and instead taken all these kids and putting them on medication so that they're not creative and individual, but instead making them sheep and then teaching them bullshit out of books. And then when you get out of school, you unlearn and relearn not just the world, but the history. And some people dive into it and love it and become it and really reshape their understanding of life and the world by relearning history. History is written by the winners. It is taught by the winners. The winners of battles and wars, the winners of taking over societies by force or by money or by culture. History has been shaped. And the true history sometimes isn't always spoken. The true history is hidden deep in the layers of the formation of countries. The United States has so many layers, so many. Look, Crazy Eyes came back out again. And I really think Alien, I'm getting back to aliens. I'm bringing it full circle here. I really feel like aliens play a much deeper role in the formation. And I don't want to say aliens. I'm going to say extraterrestrials, maybe. We're going to say otherworldly visitors. We're going to say, what could we call them that's not so alien? I think the Greys are so. If I'm gonna meet the aliens and get high with aliens, I'm not just gonna be like, hey, Greys, care for a smoky, a doink, with a little bit of zoink? Look, I feel there's been a presence here on our planet since even before the Egyptians, and it's been written in hieroglyphic, it's been written in Phoenician text, it's been written in ancient, a lot of ancient text. There's a lot of shit out there. I just can't even. But it's old and it's out there, and it's on cave drawings. It's portals that have opened up, and visitors that have taught and guided and helped mankind. Now, have these visitors or not visitors, maybe deed holders to the earth? Who knows? Who knows? Have they had nefarious reasons? And that's the thing. Have they, coincidence? I think not. Have they had nefarious reasons? I don't know. Are we a test? Are we test subjects? Are we like cattle on a planet? And they say, okay, let's see what happens. Long run, we need them as a food source. Let's see if we run out of food. We're gonna come back and be like, oh, holy shit, there's a lot of them. I am starving. I mean, not like they're gonna be eating us like a turkey leg, like, oh, roast it. I mean, maybe they're using us for our nutrients or for our blood or for our plasma or for our embryos or they're homogenizing us. I don't know. Look at the cattle. And this is an interesting one. I'm just going to throw it out there because I remember it. Travis Scott, or just Travis, Dr. Travis, Kelsey Travis, I don't know. It's Travis from, the guy is at NASA, super smart guy, part of the government, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, government divisions. He's also on a show called Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, which is pretty powerful shit right there. Powerful. So he was doing a conference, and the guy was talking, oh my God, yes. The guy was talking about bovine extraction and bovine blood, cow blood, and how the blood in its concentration or in its bovine extracted, once it's extracted from the blood, and this substance allows for interstellar travel. What? Huh? Both for so either it was the engines, the G-force, and what it does to the body, the bovine blood extraction puts less strain, or I don't know. There's so much to it, but the way the guy, Dr. Travis, super smart cat, the way he talked about it, the shit made sense at the time. Made a lot of sense. So much sense that I was like, well, shit, a lot of cows are disappearing. A lot of bovine extracted blood. I'm wondering if humans' blood is, once extracted, can do the same thing for their interstellar engines or for their bodies or for their I don't know what the hell they're using our blood for, but I'm saying it's getting kind of creepy. Mars Attacks. I see Mars Attacks. Yes, Travis, you're right. Listen, you need to get on the show as well. Mars Attacks. The way that could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen like that because I think they're already here, and I'll tell you why. Just really quickly. Okay, there was this Israeli, and I think I've spoken about it on way previous shows. There's an Israeli colonel or general. He's a colonel. Or he's high up there. He's retired now. Well, as he retired, he had a press conference, and his press conference was disclosure. So in his disclosure, he basically said that Trump was supposed to give disclosure or tell people about aliens, but for some reason, last minute, he backed out. So this guy's telling us about them. We've been working with them for years. They've exchanged with us scientific shit that we backwards engineer. Brain is not working with all the words right now. And what their mission really is to figure out the fabric of space and time. That's what their adventurous journey through everything right now is, just about the fabric of space and time, and understanding that and the nature of it and why and where it came from initially, um, and the why it came. So and how many. So that's what this Israeli general came out with, and that they were already working with government programs. And there was a lot more that he wanted to disclose. But the first thing is, he said, look, I don't care how you judge me. I don't care how you look at me. I get nothing from this. There's no gain, no books, no movies. I don't give a shit. This guy, I want to tell you, this guy is like the salt of the earth. I know him. I've met him. I would never stand for a person if I didn't believe in them. The guy is like salt of the fucking earth. Like, these are people that don't lie, that don't ever cross boundaries of and if he says, oh, itchy, oh, if he says something, you believe him. He's like, shit, you stop talking and you listen, because everything that person's saying is the God's honest truth. So if he says we've already been dealing with aliens, disclosure was already supposed to happen. There are already government programs going on. There are he said there are multiple different tribes of aliens, or multiple different civilizations, that we are dealing with 7 different types from different planets or different star systems. Something he did mention that stargates, try to remember, it's all about frequency, and it's about tuning in to different places. But this guy he still is. I mean, I can't remember his name right now. And later on, I'll be like, that's the guy. But we met him at his place. It was almost like a fortress, the area around it. The beaches are patrolled, and only because a lot of people come in by boats, and terrorists, and it's a wild place. So that's where, I don't know what I was talking about, Mars attacks. So that's where I believe we have already have contact, or not us as regular people, but governments and nations, and even though maybe their presidents may not know, there are deeper organizations in each one of these governments that are colliding together to keep as much information away from the public. Because if we know, what's the difference if we know? Why? Is there a reason that they hide? I mean, is there a reason? Is there a reason that they're not, I don't know. Let me see. What the Appalachian stuff freaks me out. I've been going down that rabbit hole of videos. The Appalachian stuff. Wait a second. What's the Appalachian stuff? What's happening with the Appalachian stuff? What is this? Now wait, up in the Appalachia, the big-eyed, white, all white, very large heads, very large eyes. They had mass colonies. They had a war with the Indians of that territory back in the can't remember. In the Indians' early history of the Appalachia, up in North Carolina, or the North Carolinian, up from there in the Cherokee Mountains, they had a war. And then up in the Appalachia, there's a lot of stuff in the Appalachia that's pretty frightening. You hear banjos and people playing the guitar and just kind of getting down. Just drive faster. Don't stop. Even if you need gas, just go to a more public area. Just, if you see any characters that look like what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name now. I'm terrible. Smokey and the Bandit. Burt Reynolds. Oh, there we go. That was gonna bother me. Burt Reynolds is amazing. I mean, amazing as a comedic action actor. And then he did some serious shit. And when he went serious, he went like just deep, just like wasn't the same individual. But no. All right, so I guess tonight we're going to talk our preface whatever, are before our conversation before. So before we really get into the deep conversation about aliens, before we really get into the UAP hearings or the congressional hearings, let me just give you a synopsis of what I'd like to talk about. A combination of different things that actually happened. So I want you aware of these. I want you to know what's going on right now. So the disclosure is all about non-human biologics, or biologics, biological something retrieved that is not human, but it's of something. So this earlier testimony was done by former Pentagon official David Grush, and he is saying that governments have recovered non-human entities from crash sites, and they've also operated secret programs to reverse engineer alien technology. Testimonies of advanced non-human technology. So retired Rear Admiral Tim Gaudet, and other experts have confirmed that UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, exhibit advanced technologies beyond current human capabilities. They're testimonying this in front of Congress in a congressional hearing. They're saying that, look, and this is also testimony from Navy pilots that have encountered these craft directly, and some that have been videoed directly doing maneuvers that just cannot be done. A big thing. So witnesses are suggesting that there is a secretive arms race among nations to exploit these unidentified aerial phenomenon and to kind of grab their technologies. So there's an underground secret organization arms race of sorts. Not even arms. I think really it's technology race. But the United States has been dabbling in this technology for more than 40 years. More than 40 years. 50 years. They've been dabbling with this technology from even before I was born. Which maybe right before I was born. No. no, even further back. 1947, 1930s. But I don't think they actually had any alien technology until the late 40s. The late 40s, 1940s, the United States, I think, was already looking at alien technology. But I think, so there's a guy, Luis Elizondo, former head of the Pentagon's UAP program, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Program. So this is a Pentagon program. He's the former head of that program. He stressed that UAPs are monitoring sensitive military sites. So even back in the 80s, there were nuclear sites that the military has all throughout the United States. Like all throughout the United States, we have multiple silos ready with nuclear missiles ready to go. These sites are monitored constantly by military and are under guard, lock and key to a T. These things are checked by people. The missiles are checked. They're greased. They're oiled. The machinery is checked. The computers are updated constantly. I want to say I remember back in the 80s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, late 80s, I was hearing that these sites were getting compromised, that UFOs or UAPs were coming into these nuclear sites and shutting them down, controlling them, even activating the nuclear missiles, not shooting them, but activating the systems and opening up the silos, controlling them so much that outside users or the users in the control room had no control. And these documented by the military UAP, UFOs had total control of the United States nuclear program. Holy shit. Were they using this nuclear power? Were they testing our capabilities? Were they letting us know that they are in control, not us? Okay. But that was like late 80s, I want to say. That's still to learn about that. So we're probably going to learn about more instances, more situations now. Like, we're in the age of disclosure. 2024 into 25 seems super powerful as far as disclosure goes, learning new secrets, new devices, new procedures, new elements. Every day I read the news and I see new developments in science that we've been working on answers for my entire life, and they're coming with the answers now. We are in the age of knowledge, the age of disclosure, not just the tearing down of societies, but the rebirth and the growing of science. I've never seen more science articles in positive directions as I have now. So that's a positive thing, but where is this science going? Where are these developments going? I hope they're all going to improve mankind, because we need it right now. So there's the head of the Pentagon UAP program, or I guess the former head of the program. He's come out letting us know that UAPs are real. They're out there. And so I want to know who came out with the testimony about the non-human. I think that was, let me see, that was the David Grush, possibly, that had talked about, nope, not yet. He didn't talk about that. So experts criticize government secrecy, highlighting the need for collaboration between agencies and academic researchers to study these phenomenon more openly. So each government program is hiding their information and their knowledge and their history and their research. They're not talking to each other. These government programs are like the CIA and the FBI, or not the FBI, they probably don't know shit, but like this, whatever, all these secret programs are not talking, and they need to be. There needs to be more government transparency with the people and with the researchers. But of course, that would be the government finally admitting, but is this their way of admitting? Allowing these people to do this without them disappearing? Is this the government's way of just saying, fine, tell them? How many people are going to believe you? How many people are paying attention? How many people are watching the congressional hearing on UAPs and non-human biologics? How many people? Fine. Who gives a shit? Tell them. That's what the government is telling them, right? So I think, I think I need to do a history. I just love it. I want to do a story really quickly. I'm just writing it down. History of the government. No, I was going to say aliens and cannabis. History of aliens, and let's put cannabis. I don't know. I'll look into it. This is where I get ideas for some of my stories. They just come to me. So global sightings have been up by like 75%. And that's a huge thing. That's a huge bug. That's like, look, that was huge. Like, look, that big on the window, right? It's right there, doing it again. Just zzz, up, and then it disappears. And then it comes back again. It's like the biggest moth I think I've seen in quite some time. Usually moths lately are very small. There's a lizard. He's going to be very happy. He's going to eat he's going to have a meal in just a moment. I'm excited for him. Okay, so sightings continue worldwide with reports of luminous objects performing abrupt maneuvers and disappearing into the ocean. Look, Travis was saying it a moment ago. They're in the ocean. Aliens are in the ocean. Entire colonies and cities can be going on down there. And what do we know? We know shit. We know nothing. They could be up in the coldest regions, as deep as they could possibly go, because if they can go to space, they can handle the pressure on their vehicles. Well, obviously their vehicles can go underwater as well, and we can't go down that far. We don't know what's going on. We can't even put a camera down there without the camera getting crushed by the pressure of the ocean. But it could be populated. We know nothing. There are geothermal vents if they need any kind of methane or heat. I don't know. There's so many different things that they can really get into. Also, Travis Tyler, Redneck Rocket. That's the guy. That's the guy. Travis Tyler. Is it Tyler? Travis Tyler? I don't know. The guy is like the smartest redneck scientist employed by NASA. He is a rocket scientist, a NASA rocket scientist. The guy is super genius. So that's who I was talking about earlier, the one who was talking about the bovine blood. So that's why whatever he said, I took as gold. I was paying attention to every single word. So global sightings are up. Big sightings include the Navy's big Tic Tac videos that we've all seen on TV, I'm sure. And they're saying these Tic Tac and triangular crafts over military bases, they're saying these are real. These are real. They're showing it to you right in your face, saying, hey, look, they're right there. You want to know if there's aliens? Well, look, there's flipping aliens. There's one I saw with these squid-like almost like an octopus or a squid or octopus, and traveling through a military base like it was invisible, traveling in a different frequency, traveling in a different spectrum. What an incredible video, though. A lot of experts suggest that these UAPs may operate, again, from underwater bases, citing unexplained sonar detections, and frequent sightings near coastlines. This supports theories about alien bases beneath Earth's oceans, underneath Earth's oceans, underneath not just cavernous areas, but we're talking about deep down in the trenches, where I don't know if they need oxygen or if there's a regulated pressure and temperature. I don't know. It's wild. Look, my head starts to spin. It starts to think about all the possibilities. Let me see. Popular theories: underground and underwater bases, deep oceanic trenches, like I said, mountain ranges like the Cheyenne. What is it? The Cheyenne Mountain, rumored to host secretive activities, bases, underground colonies, and cities. All these big mountain bases are connected, through a deep underground bored tunnel system by train. The aliens are traveling by light speed transit underground. Stranger things have been possible. I'm just throwing out ideas. This is not everything I necessarily believe. I'm just giving you a roundabout idea of all the different possibilities that things could be. Mine is the Denver International Airport. I feel this is not just an airport for people to travel with, but aliens to travel. Deep underground. Many, many, many stories under the ground. I believe there are transitways and tunnels. They've been using these gigantic boring machines, tunneling machines. These things are huge, though. Like, we're talking about the diameter of a circular diameter of what? A tunnel. A gigantic tunnel going through a mountain. That would be the size of these machines, maybe even bigger. And there are like two of them for sure that I saw pictures of and know about that were at the Denver airport or brought into the surrounding areas around the Denver airport. And there are stories and documents and diagrams of how deep underground this really goes and where it's connected to. To me, that's now there's like an underground base for the military as a doomsday, last minute, holy shit, let's get to Denver if we have nowhere else to go. That's one of their underground doomsday bases. Underground, the Denver airport. I mean, there's a lot going on. Advanced underground cities. Look, long-standing urban claims legends. Some people are suggesting, theorists, that advanced civilizations, aliens, or even ancient civilizations may have lived or even still live and thrive underground or within mountains, avoiding human detection. Not just because of inaccessible locations, maybe living within frequencies, living within zones that are within the earth. Look, I think it was Admiral Byrd, Colonel Byrd or Admiral Byrd, back in the long time ago, back in the, I want to say between the 40s and the 60s, between the 40s and the 60s, late 40s, let's go like 50s, between the 50s and late 50s, this guy flew to the North Pole, and him and another gentleman flew into a mountain range that was large enough for them to fly their plane into. And if I understand properly, it opened up to a city. Now, they could have flown through a portal, a regular standing portal, or they flew through into another dimension or reality or something living side by side within our reality. I don't know. But they flew into another time or our current time, and they went into the earth. And then they flew around. They saw everything. I think they took pictures. These pictures have been classified, obviously. And they were able to, and this was all in his journal and his reports. And they were able to fly out of the mountain and out again. And this man was hailed as a hero by the United States. But these stories did get out. This got out. This happened. So there's a lot going on inside of our planet, inside of our, and deep within our oceans. So recent disclosures from disclosures to Congress, and these congressional hearings. I don't know, maybe this is okay. This is the government disclosing just enough information, just enough to stave us off from asking too many questions. Is that what this is? Is that what the recent congressional hearings have been about? Just to appease the people? But I think at this point we should be pretty smart and understand that there is another entity or many different entities on Earth dealing with our deep government factions and our military industrial presence in each country. I think we should demand more, demand to know more, demand to know why or what's going on under the covers, so to speak. Why is the focus so much on transparency? What else does the government know? What else are they hiding? So if they're showing us this and saying, yeah, go ahead, look at this. What's going on over here? What's going on behind the scenes that they want to hide from you so much that they're letting you know that there's aliens? Did you know recently they've confirmed Nibiru, Planet X? That's what I'm saying. I think we've become so desensitized. Or is that a time shift? And I talk about time shifts all the time. So is that a time shift? When I was growing up, I remember the talk of a ninth planet, of planet Nibiru. And it's It's in an ultraviolet spectrum that we cannot see with the naked eye because it's like a brown dwarf, and it's just pure energy in a way that we can only see in certain spectrums of light. And then they're saying it doesn't exist. And they said, I remember this as a kid, that they talked about it. They're like, no, it's bullshit, and it doesn't exist. It's not a possibility. Last week, I read a confirmed article that they have confirmed. Not just scientists, not just astronomers. The government has confirmed, NASA has confirmed the existence of Nibiru, of Planet X. And it's on an I know, this to me gets me riled up and excited. It's on an orbit, not like all the other planets, but a long elliptical orbit where we are doing this shit and it is doing this shit. It's doing a long journey while we do a journey around the sun. We dance and sing around the sun. And then this other planet's like, but I come in. I'm just, he's going really slow, and he's moving really slow. But the energy and power of this planet influence our galaxy, our planet, our sun. There's a lot going on. So with the acknowledgement of this, they were hiding that. Maybe they were coming out saying, okay, there's aliens. Let them know that there's aliens, but don't let them know that. Let them know, but hide it. Hide it in the stories. But we don't want them to know about Nibiru. I don't know. Don't ask me. There's too much shit coming at me these days. I'm in a right now state of, maybe the better word is, I'm in a constant re-evolution and revitalization of Orin. Origanji wants to be more organic, healthy, food conscious, life conscious, people conscious, emotion conscious. We have let go of so many things. We have forgotten our emotions are powerful. We are powerful. We are pure energy. And we influence not just a room. We influence a city. We influence a world. We together as energy is spectacular. And it's not necessarily thinking the same thing, but just sharing this incredible power. And we already are. We already are sharing this incredible power. This world that we live in, this universe that is supercharged all around us in its ever-growing expansion, that could be in a loop. We talked about that in another show. Could be a time loop. But in this world that we live in, we are creating it together. Like, if you ever wonder if you're ever doing something as part of the collective, you already are. Our Big Bang was the want of emotion and energy. The Big Bang was our want of a physical understanding of what our emotion is. In that explosion became our reality, our universe, and we are all sharing this reality together, working it together, using all of our minds, our billions and billions of energetic minds, not necessarily brainy minds, non-physical, more energetic minds, the Akashic record holding kind of togetherness mind, and creating this. And I guess the Akashic record is like our download. The Akashic record, the alpha state, is our download of not just emotion, not just information. I don't know, our download of our vibe, our living resonant energy. Like, you know how crystals are like batteries for the soul, and they can hold emotion, they can hold energy. So kind of like that. It's a it's an energetic space in reality that holds emotion. Maybe that's what happened to us. That's our reality. That's our understanding of that's my understanding of the universe, is that it's all of ours. We all create it together. And the lucky ones are all of you, every single day. The lucky ones are every single one of you that get to breathe every single day. Even sometimes when the breath is terrible, it's hard. It comes from a overly controlled environment, you know, a harsh environment that's not environmentally safe, or I don't know. You can get into so many different things, but you're still lucky. You're still alive. Every day, you are already a lucky one. Just being born, you're born lucky. You're born part of the magic that it's almost impossible to speak of, because you have to feel it, you have to see it, and it's there every single day. But so many people ignore it. And if you just realize how lucky you already are, how connected you already are, that's where we are. I don't know, I was talking about fucking aliens, wasn't I? I'm sure I was. Just off into a thing. I don't know. And we were talking about it earlier, that you know, the stories of Greek mythology are real, like real to a degree. But this is how people saw their history, and they wrote it down. So especially when it came to cave drawings were exactly of what they could see. There was no record they could pull from, no book they could look at. The cave drawing was live in front of their face, pretty much. They're drawing this, or they just saw it and they're going off to draw it. There is history still hidden from us. There is history we still need to learn. And I think aliens, if you want to call them aliens, I want to call them something more elegant. But until we have a better word, we're going to just call them entities. I think entities have been part of our history even before we know, even before we understand, even as far back possibly as our cultural change or organic change from the ocean onto land. So maybe they were even responsible for the Panisperia, where they seeded the universe with genetic code, or there's a mosquito in here, and I don't know where it is, but I know it's bit me, or it landed on me. It's messing with me. So I think maybe genetic code, or the ingredients for life were spread throughout the universe, and different planets reacted in different ways. Maybe Mars even had some of the first life. They were just recently, again, another discovery that I feel like people are just brushing under the rug like nothing happened. They just confirmed, not water, they already confirmed water. They confirmed microbial life. They found traces of life on the Martian planet. Holy shit. This is everything I ever knew as a kid is coming to life and saying it's real. There are entities or aliens. There are other cultures and nations of extraterrestrial, or whatever you want to call them, ETs, universal planetary, yo, Beastie Boys. Yeah, that's, I think we're just ignoring. I mean, yes, we watch shows like Ancient Aliens. I love Tsoukalos. I love Giorgio Tsoukalos. I'm not saying it's aliens, but, and I love his crazy hairdos. Love it. I may grow my hair out so that I'm more Tsoukalos. You know, I have more of a Tsoukalosian going on. That's what I'm going to call his haircut now, the Tsoukalosian. But yes, Ancient Aliens has been disclosing things for the longest time. There are works by the Cradle of the Gods or something. The guy, he's got a base up in the mountains, a museum that I think he lives at. That's his name will come to me, but the Chariots of the Gods. Chariots of the Gods. I think that's the book that the guy put out. I love the stories, and within all of these stories that they are telling, there is some fact. Maybe not 100%, maybe not even 50% sometimes, but you have to sift through the bullshit. You have to pick through the shit to find the good stuff. You're not going to just dive right in and be like, oh yeah, you're right, it's all true. It's not. There was a website I used to go to 25 years ago. When the websites really started, it was crazy. AboveTopSecret.com or .org. It was above top secret. I think it was .org. .org or com. It wasn't .com. It was .org or .net. This was a long time ago, but it was above top secret. And so they would have thousands of stories or hundreds of stories. And in all these different hundreds of stories in different categories, they had all these top stories. And I would read through these stories, and I through the top 50 stories that were represented on one page. Out of those 50 stories, there was maybe 10 that were really of merit. And even in that 10 of merit, maybe 20 to 60% true. So that's what I thought. And then I started seeing these stories on the news. But I started seeing the stories on the news watered down and changed from the original stories that I saw on Above Top Secret. Now, I'm sure the site is not the same as what it is now, back then. So I was watching the news, and I'm starting, and this is when I still used to watch the news. I don't watch the news now. It's just doom and gloom. It just makes me cry. And I can't sit there and cry for hours. And then it also makes me feel unsafe. So instead of putting my energy towards that, I'm trying to put my energy towards change. So I would look at the news and I'd watch the news and I would see this shit and I'd be like, wow, okay, holy shit, there's something going down. And then I'd go back and read what's really happening. Why certain things are shut down, what's the story here, and you're getting undercover stories from people working in some of these places or firsthand experiencing. And again, it's not all true, but you have to be smart enough to understand what's fact and what's not, or what people are trying to tell you without saying everything. What people are trying to tell you without uncovering everything. I heard something. That was wild. Anytime I hear just like screaming or voices or somebody calling out, the later it gets here on the land, the creepier it gets. I would say usually past 10, I won't go outside without people with me. Not afraid, but you are more vulnerable to the spirits of the land, the multiple spirits. And by not saying their names or what they are, it doesn't give them energy or power. I would still walk out there. I would even do it on a beautiful big moon night. If there's no big moon, there's no need for me to go outside. It's too dark. And it's even too dark to see the shadows right now. So I heard something a moment ago. That's wild. That's wild. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. That's why I just stopped talking. I was like, wow, what is that? So curious now. So when I'm done with the show, I'm gonna go look, make sure everybody's okay, make sure everything's fine, which I'm quite sure it is. The boys, they hear voices sometimes calling them to come outside, but they know better. Don't go outside. I know, what a weird thing to tell people about the land that you live on. And I'm sure the land you live on or the places you live, there are voices and shit you hear that you know is something else. So listen for it. Don't be afraid of it. I think listen for it and listen to see what it's saying. Maybe spirits like that, the only way they can communicate with us is by screaming. And it sounds like screaming. It sounds like terrible things. But instead, it's not. We have to really listen. It's like with the aliens. We're not looking. It's right in front of our faces. The history, the history, the buried history, the written history. It's in your face. So I think even if you don't believe, we are in an age of disclosure where history is changing. It's rewriting itself right now in front of us. I get excited by science. I get excited by progress. And the age we're in, oh my gosh, we're in the age of Aquarius. I think as of the other night, we officially became the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Yeah, okay, sorry. Not sorry. Whatever. But Aquarius, I think that's what we're in right now. Age of Aquarius. Very groovy. For the next many years, many moons ahead of us, we are going to be in the Age of Aquarius. A little live rosin. I enjoy sativas. I enjoy things that keep my mind open and thinking and definitely excited. When I'm ready to go to sleep, somebody asked me once, they're like, well, if you smoke so many sativas, how do you go to sleep? I stopped smoking. I mean, if I want to go to sleep in like the next 30 minutes, I'm not smoking anymore. I'm done. If I'm going to sleep in 30 minutes, I'm not. I'm busy. Got a lot of things to do. A lot of thinkage to get to. Thinkage. Exciting things happening all around us, and I want to make sure that I'm right on top of it. So tonight's talk was about aliens. Tonight's talk was about tea. Tonight's talk was about adding things to your smoke, and that's what Friday is going to be. Friday is going to be all about tea, okay? Tea on Fridays. High tea on Friday, and rolling smoke or blending. So blending smoke. So we're going to be talking about blending different herbs, different spices into your pre-roll to have a different smoke, to have a different kind of enjoyment. I'm very excited about that. So that's going to be on Friday. High tea and blending smoke. That is pretty groovy. Is there something there? I thought I saw something. Like a bug, or that's just me spitting at the screen. Yeah, that's just me spitting at the screen. I'm a very energetic talker, and so I'm just letting it go. I'll have to like wipe the screen later. I should have like a windshield wiper on my computer. And my laptop just say better. I sounded like a cat. okay, I could just be freaking out from the music that's playing. If you can hear music, I don't hear the music getting crazy with any talking, any background sounds other than the beats. And maybe like it could just be me. It could be my craziness, but I heard a cat a second ago, like that direction. Like meowing in a talking kind of way, and then something over there answered. So it could be cats just scaring the shit out of me. And these are big cats. Look, we've got Pepper. Thought Pepper was a girl until I saw the cojones, and they were enormous cojones on a cat. So Pepper is no longer a girl, but Pepper is a boy. And Pepper started as an itsy bitsy cat, the cutest little thing in the world. And now Pepper is like, it's like Pepper is this thing. It's like not even, Pepper is the only cat I know to battle these chupacabras and the entities on the land. Pepper's a tough something. But also a few birds of ours disappear occasionally, like the quail. She was responsible for quite a massacre. It was, I guess, our fault. We didn't have a padlock on the cage. Instead, her opposable thumbs were able to unlock things. I'm still shocked at the intelligence level of this creature. I don't even think it's a cat. I think it's a freaking alien. I think it's a freaking alien in disguise, hiding as a cat, just way too smart and social. Sits back, raises a paw, puts a paw this direction. You're looking, what is going on? What are you pointing at? What do you say? To me? It's just weird. I'm leaving it alone. Okay, thank you for joining me tonight. Highly motivated, highly enthusiastic, highly excited. I loved our smoke sesh today. I loved this smoke sesh. As we're leaving the smoke sesh, I'm going to still try this other one, the purple haze. Maybe I wasn't giving it enough of a chance. It's a little flowery. I'm burning it way too hot, really, to get a good flavor out of it. I think I'm just looking to get a little bit of an entourage and kind of see where it leads. I did get a little flavor on that one. I don't know. You know, it smokes. It smokes like, it tastes like, and kind of smells like the weed I used to get in like a brick. And I'd peel it off the brick. And so this is the purple haze that I got from an undisclosed. Look, I lit it back up and I'm like, it's not over. I mean, it's harsh. It's a lot more harsh than anything else with gold. Like gold flower is amazing shit. Gold flower really spoils me. And that gas chata earlier was amazing. The what is it? The JGT, that was quite delicious. And I'm saving the orange bowl for the tea. That's gonna be, I'm gonna maybe have some cloves, maybe some blue lotus. Woo! I cannot wait. Friday tea, high tea. And we're talking about blending smoke. So blending smoke, high tea on Friday. Definitely don't forget to check Oregonji.com for new articles every single week. Join the email mailing list, but the email thing also automatically puts you in a drawing. If you're in Florida and you don't have a medical card, we pay for it. If it's a recert, we pay for it in the drawing once a week. And then once a month, we are giving out much larger prizes. Very exciting. So sign up, check out the website for many different things. Sign up for that. Check out the articles, look at past episodes of Highly Motivated. And some of my episodes, I'm a little out there. Let me tell you something. I do some of my episodes from when it's warm and beautiful outside, from the front porch, overlooking the back end of the property. I feel safer because I was doing them at night. It was getting dark, and when it got dark outside, I could hear shit moving around behind me. So inside in the studio, I feel a lot safer. Right now, I feel safer because I see giant moths. Like, it was like huge. It was like, on the window. It was like giant moth all the way up the top, and then went around and then don't know what's going on out there right now. I'm just gonna stay in this beautiful haze of whatever that's happening here in the studio. Thank you everybody for joining me. Wednesday Smoke Sesh. You can find me again Friday night, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. And this Friday, we're doing high tea. We're doing a little blending smoke. So blending smoke, a little bit of high tea, all happening here on Highly Motivated with the Oregonji. I can't wait. I can't wait. Look, I couldn't wait for today. I was so excited. Today's show had me so pumped up. So, we're going to get to it. Great community, great smoke time, great education, and not just learning and talking together. That is the point of this show. And if you enjoy it, that's everything. If you look forward to it, that's everything. We come to you 3 times a week. Okay, today's Wednesday. So next time Friday, high tea, blah, 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 blah. And then Sunday, also 8 o'clock on the Sunday Smoke Sesh. No expectations, no actual topics. But sometimes we're going to talk about some shit. Like tonight, aliens. Question everything. Question everything. Be more, moved. Be more excited. Be more. What the hell is going on around me? They're talking about aliens. Shit's real. They're dropping huge bombs of knowledge or disclosure or whatever it might be. But I think we're too lackadaisical with this. I think we're too just blasé. And we're not taking it for as serious as what it is. Mars just showed microbial microbial proof of life on Mars. Aliens are all around us right now, and they've been here right now. So disclosure, there's life on Mars. There is other shit happening. Look into it. Check it out. Life is wild. They just found Nibiru, Planet X, the 9th brown dwarf planet. That's enormous and on a long elliptical orbit. See, right there, I've just listed a whole bunch of shit that I thought as a kid was false. I thought as a kid was mythology. I thought Planet 9 was mythology as a kid. Look, it's fact. Or are they hiding the fact that the asteroid Apophis, or the god of death, that's what they've named this asteroid. And this asteroid is coming to us right now. And if it threads a specific needle, then when it comes back in 2036, it hits us. That's some big shit. So did it thread the needle? Has it come yet? If it misses the needle, then it misses us. But then it comes back like a couple hundred years later and completely decimates us. I don't know. It gets into our gravitational force and just pulls shit all over the place. And living underground might be the smartest thing to do until we recombobulate. I don't know. Nobody actually knows because they're hiding knowledge from us. And then when we find out, it's too late. Like, I think there was a report not too long ago, it was like days ago, that an asteroid came very close to hitting the Earth. Not just a regular one, but a really big one. And it just missed us. And they just saw it. Like, it just came out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, great. Look harder for really big shit that's about to hit us. But that's what's going on. So, and then all around the world, politically, there are uprisings, there are conflicts and wars and battles and massacres. There is shit going on. And then there's natural disasters that are just wiping out and decimating people. Thousands. Look, there's a mine in South Africa right now where there is 4,000 people underground. 4,000 people. 4,000 people. And we don't hear about it here in the United States. We are oblivious. The regular news says nothing. It's like school. They're only going to tell you what they want you to know. The regular news is only telling you what they want you to know. You have to dig deeper. You have to look deeper through the bullshit and find out what's happening out there in the world so that you're informed and so that you know. Because if you don't go and find out this information, then it's your fault when things come. It's your fault because you don't have that information. I'm sorry, but the way society is, with what they're telling us on the news, if you know better and know that they're only telling you what they want you to know, and if you know better and know they're only telling you bullshit, dig deeper. Dig deeper. Find out more. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I'm being a fact theorist. I'm being, once what was mythology is now factology, damn it. That's some crazy wild shit. Wow. So, be a seeker of knowledge. Be a searcher of the truth. All of you. That's the energy that we bring to this world. It's kindness. It's goodness. It's truth. It's unlearning and relearning history. And that is exciting. It's exciting not because they lied to us, not because they continue to lie to us. That's not exciting. That's a shame on them. But it's exciting relearning this information and relearning the history and the knowledge and the technology and to learn new knowledge makes me want to know more. What makes me want to know why that so much has been suppressed. As you see, I get very excited. So aliens are only one thing that they suppress, but I believe those entities have been part of our history long before we even know. That being said, highly motivated, highly excited. Can't wait to see you on Friday for high tea and blending smoke. Yeah, I like that. There you go. There you go. Okay. And I hope you enjoy in the background this lo-fi kind of vibe that's it's getting down. Okay. And if you can't hear it, then I'm just dancing to a beat that maybe only I can hear in my head. All right, whatever. I'm done. I have to go. I don't have to go. I really don't. But I feel silly if I talk longer than 3 hours. I get to 3 hours and I'm just like, people just shouldn't talk that long. They don't. And then I want to educate more. But maybe it's just too much after a while. It's too much to take. Too much to take in. So much excitement in life. So I just want to let you know, remember, approach your day with kindness. Approach your day with understanding. Send out the greatest of frequencies, and it lights up a room. That room that it lights up all the people that come into it afterwards. And that energy spreads. That frequency spreads. That kindness and understanding spreads. And that right there is the number one thing that this world needs. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Look to yourself and believe. Believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, when you love yourself, when you trust yourself, that's the beginning. Then you can bring out a true authentic energy, a true authentic vibe and frequency to change everything, to help change everybody to be at their most authentic self, their happy self, their happy place, wherever the fuck that is. Okay. All that being said, have a beautiful, beautiful night. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Remember, you're only at the beginning of the rest of this. You know, if you're in the middle of an adventure, you're only in the beginning. You're only in the middle of this adventure for the week, this journey. The middle of the journey for this adventure. There you go. You're only in the middle of this journey of the adventure. Whatever, shut up. Don't shut up. I shut up. Enjoy it. Be powerful. Be everything you want to be. Create it, manifest it. Best time to manifest. Remember, not necessarily the physical realm, the subconscious. Not the conscious, but the subconscious. And it's not a need, it's not a want. It's just a belief. You must believe it as though it's already true. You must act it out as though it's already true. Believe it, it becomes. The subconscious must regulate it with the conscious. If you are believing and living it here in the subconscious, then the conscious must rebalance. So it must form into the conscious life. Try it in the subconscious, going to sleep a couple days in a row. Believe in it. Believe in it. See it. Things might be a little different. Okay, that's it. Told you I'm getting close to 3 hours. 2 hours is my cutoff. Thank you, everybody, for joining me from all the different networks that you're joining me from. I apologize that I can't see how many people in different places because it shows crazy numbers and then I find them out later. Facebook, I will come later and answer anybody who's made comments on Facebook where I don't see them here. Okay, finally done. Done. I'm gonna go eat ice cream. That's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go eat something that's terribly bad for me. I'm lactose intolerant, but all I'm thinking about right now is some ice cream. Yes, some ice cream. Okay, have a great night. See you guys on Friday. I know it's bad for me. I'm probably not gonna eat it. I'm just saying I am, but I might eat like